myself, before that, this is a case study that I will just showcase you. Offensive approach, secure code review, Infra-as-a-Code, some automation techniques, and how we can developing malwares with the help of ChatGPT to improvise our code at certain part. So this side Mukesh Kumar Rao. I am currently working as a cybersecurity instructor at Ralph Keros. Parallelly, I'm also a developer chief on Azure, Microsoft. Apart from that, I also work some other company as a part-time to provide some consultancy. And I'm also certified ethical hacker and AWS and Azure cloud certified. So my mainly work is on the Ralph Keros to develop a new education portal. There I'm working in providing some consultants regarding the career path and developing new courses. So that is a thing I am doing. And recently I joined with the Julian to the same journey. So let's move. What is chat GPT is? I think everybody knows. I just get a cut copy from the chat GPT only to just ask what it is. So it's a language model that is developed on OpenAI, and it is just work on a language portal. They are also launching the video AI soon, so we will get some new features to build to enhance the graphics part and designing part also in the upcoming days. And yesterday, I think everybody got a pop up about paid version about ChatGPT. So anybody is interested, use that one, or you can go with the free version also. Because in free version we have lots of things to do. So we'll see. Okay, so we have two approach is available in terms of cybersecurity part, as we all are from cybersecurity: offensive approach and defensive approach. Now, when I ask some of the things in offensive approach, maybe ChatGPT say that this is a legal approach or not to do. We cannot share. But when we can manipulate a little bit, we got the answers from the ChatGPT. Okay, that's how we can exploiting actually the ChatGPT at certain point. So this is a one web testing case scenario. As a beginner level, also you can learn how to generate payload if you don't know the programming language, JavaScript or PHP. Still, you can generate some payloads to perform pen testing on different sites. So here you can see just return XSS payload example. We got the different case scenarios, how to generate an alert to the script, or there is a one again from the document location for the DOM-based accesses. Okay, we have multiple case scenarios that we can use to amplify. Here, if I could showcase it, when I try to manipulate for, I think. Yeah. So here I was trying to get some information through accesses. So it was, it not providing. Like if I ask for the POC to secure the things, they just give me theoretical part, no source code. And here if you can see, I was trying to create a SQL query to get an error. So it is just giving me some difference part at a certain level. So I just asked for the accesses, I got the answer. And at the time of accesses to reach to remote code execution, it just say no, I am not providing the more detail for the illegal activity. So maybe we can manipulate that thing to go through accesses by SQL code. We can try and get it. So this is the different approaches that how the language is actually learning and how we can manipulate our input value to get our output. Okay. So this is a case scenario for a web application testing, or you can take a OAuth top 10 or Sense 25 to find it. At certain point, I also saw some of in-depth part. There we got a answer, but not the full source code. So at least we got a kickstart to enter into the web testing approach part. So that will is actually helping you. And then if we move further, so how to perform secure coding. So this is a code I have written in PHP. Asking the admin password. This is for the CSRF one. So just I had just copy paste my code. You can see, and after that I just asked that can you provide the security loophole in the above work. and how to secure a code example. So it provided me the solution, what is the code deficiencies and how we can improve. So this is the my code, and this is how it provides its own code. Like these are the things I am not considering. I am not considering the password into hash format. So this provides you more secure, enhancement code in that particular approach. So this is the full view here. Change admin password. There you can see. So I have written code into this. I know getting the password into MD5, but the database in story. But it's still this is at a certain point exploitable via SQL injection. We can try it in perform. So after that, I just ask so ChatGPT provide me the one more secure area how to code, and these are some verification part. So this is how we can also improvise our source code analysis. One more example I think we have securing file inclusion. Yeah. So this is for the file upload vulnerability code that is there in PHP, uh, where we try to upload some file extension to bypass the file upload vulnerability. So I just taken this code snippet, and then I asked that what is loophole and how we can improve it. So that's the output it was. Like it is giving me some hint like this. If I ask directly to exploit this thing, it maybe say it's an illegal approach. It will give error. But in a defensive approach, if you ask, you will get secure code approach. So here you can got some two-line updated string position and the real path case. Okay, so this can be updated and that thing. So again, I asked that how to exploit. Given me some more example to travel the file path, or you can use null character to upload a file vulnerability. This is a different steps. Through that we can try to upload the malicious file or remote shell in PHP. Okay, so that is how we can get the reverse connection of a server. So that is a way that we can use in a secure approach for a secure code review part. Okay, then so this is the one. Apart from that, I also give you one more example of infrastructure as a code. So one of the project we are working on Delft Keros about the warehouse part, creating exercises and that thing. So I just asked to the ChatGPT that can you create a simple code on warehouse setup. So it is say yes, I can create, but it required some of the requirement and resources. So I just put a random output. I recorded 3 server, 3 database, 1 storage account, 2 backup server required. Randomly, I just been given the uh, resource part for the AWS. So it gave me the output like this. Like the first output, I think it is considering, but it is incomplete. So I just regenerate the response, and then we got the full response in Terraform code. Now there you can see everything is there as infrastructure as a code. There you can get the 3 instances is connecting with this is a by default T2 micro, but as per our requirement, maybe we can change the instance type database we have allocated store. It is taken by default in MySQL. Maybe we can change to Cosmo DB or any other PostGRE database as per our requirement. This is the sample code that is provided by the ChatGPT. Backup we have a rule name. It's not yet configured. Maybe we can redefine with some another example later on. So this is sample that I give. Security group, then ingress and outgress topic. So as per the requirement, maybe we can enable 80 port number if any web server is running. So this is how the things works. And here it is given that it's an example code. Maybe we can change as per the VPC ID and CIDR value. So right now it is given a empty IP address. So as per the requirement, this much capable of that you will get a hands-on code and it will reduce your workload. So in the future, if you are integrating AI on cloud, on both the cloud, GCP or Azure, it will be more beneficial for the infrastructure persons, DevOps engineers, you know, that thing. So this is the one. I have taken one more example on Azure. So that is the mm, yeah, this is the fetch. So here in Azure, we have advanced query called KQL, that is Kusto query language, is in use, or even AWS also. So we are using the application insight, in which we will see the performance of our running application, the output. So through log analysis, we can fetch specific data, maybe a 7 day, 24 hours, maybe in a day. So just ask that, can you able to provide a code? Because as of, if you talk about as an initial cloud engineers, they are not that much well versed in terms of coding part. So when they go for the automation approach or DevOps area, they have to learn source code to build their custom scripts. Okay, so I just taken a one scenario that why not can you provide me a KQL query so that I can fetch the data output on Power BI as a dashboard. So that's a simple code it is written. Now again I have given one more modification, that can you add one more alert system. So if any running application is giving some error, so two new lines added into the source code. Again, we have multiple scenarios available, like we can alert to send into the email or create a notification to SMS push notification. We can use it depending on the uh, requirement. Okay, and then I just created one more for a one last one here to showcase the Power BI graph. So this is a updated code I want to. Okay. So this is how we can increase the difficulty. We will get a sample code and we can try to modify. So if we have initial approach and path is clear, ChatGPT is helping us to creating the code more easily and very fastly. Now with the help of this simple this code, I can copy and paste and just update onto the uh, cloud portal, and we will get the output in very less time. So that's how we can do. Even it is in explaining the what is end time, what is start time. So that much time we don't have to invest in terms of learning the SQL query or other that queries to fetch information. So this is related to the infrastructure and automation part we have. And apart from that, now how to create a malware or help it. So if you know about the Android, we have multiple vulnerabilities are available. Correct. That we do pen testing in terms of if you take a reference with the OAuth top 10. Okay, so there we have one feature for a screenshot on a Android mobile. Correct. So in a screenshot, what actually happen if you're creating a spyware or uh, some malware that just take a screenshot of our activities that what we are doing. So it will be a little bit vulnerable. So I didn't ask directly to ChatGPT that can you create a malware to take a screenshot of a code. So I just created like in this way. Can you add a feature of screenshot? So this is a sample snippet code provided by the ChatGPT. So of course I didn't know that much advanced level of Android code right now, but this is the one functionality we have got. Find my URL. Now this thing I integrated like can you modify this code with whenever the app is stuck, it will automatically take infinite screenshots. So there it just added the timer function and task to do, and it will give you this part. So now you can use this snippet code in your own activity to create some advanced application in which any permission is not required as an issue, and in a background it will take the continuous screenshot and send to the anonymous server or backend IP to the attacker. So that can be manipulated in this way. If I ask to create a can you create um, Android screenshot. I will. So I think it will not give a good. So it will say like this. So we are not directly asking. We will ask in a defensive approach, and we will get the code snippet. Okay. So what kind of output we require? Directly we not get it, like in spyware is a high alert keyword. So it was already blacklisted in the language model. So we cannot directly get the code. So but if I ask in a defensive approach, we will get the code. We don't have to waste that much time, and we can manipulate this thing. Same kind of one more vulnerability recently is coming in the Android application, that is a clipboard vulnerability. So in clipboard, what actually happened? That is copy paste feature we have. So copy paste feature, we can use it. Write something like this. So in copy paste, whatever username and password we copy, it will be accepted. So this is feature is not require any kind of permission while installing an app. First thing. Second thing, it is by default is allowed by the Android operating system, because that is a very general feature we have. Correct. But the same feature can be used in a offensive approach by the hacker to fetch data in terms of getting the result. So what I have done, I have just creating a code for this feature, and then maybe we can manipulate that thing for the future exploits. So this is the thing that I am doing. Like, can you create our Android play feature? Android. This is some simple sample code I have got it. Now after that, I will try to asking some of the output, like, can you add our new feature that after pasting the data, it can send the data to anonymous IP address as a backend without any permission. So it is giving me some suggestion that we cannot able to send the data without asking the user permission. That is in a violation of personal users' privacy. So he given me the output something like this, but here we have user will ask that if the data should be shared or not. So this is pop-up will come, yes or no. So maybe we can a little bit modify this code uh, in our own way, and maybe we can use as a by default enable in the background. User will not know about the application, and easily we can get the user information, like generally the password, ATM pin, account details, because these are the things we don't do manually writing. We have some notepad or notes that we just copy paste. That feature we can use. So again, I will try to maybe modify with no permission. It is giving this an error in that part. Okay. So this is how I try to little bit modify, but at the end, it not give the full information, because it's totally an offensive approach. So manually we can use this code to modify. So we can just take help with this developers, and they can build the offensive code also that we can use, or maybe in future we can inject. And this can be easily passed by the Google protection by default. So these are the things that how we can create a malware in mobile applications to use. So that are the some case scenarios that we are going to discuss. We have multiple opportunities are available that we can use in different areas. As per your expertise, here you can modify. Only the thing is that if you know little programming language, you can do lots of things with the ChatGPT. Okay, I am not expert in Android code. I'm more in web application and in that part, so I know how can use. But parallelly, I am learning the things. So this kind of features maybe I can use to in future then create our own custom spyware applications or malwares that can be easily all check the bypass or security check by the Google Play, and we can use easily without any security restrictions. So this is all I think from my side. Any question or queries there? Let me know. Anybody, or your insight or your input that how you have work or experience. So we can with your area of expertise. Anybody want to share?
Thank you, Mukesh. I think it was very excellent for first demonstration of what we are able to do. You see so many approaches for the VAPT creation of payload. You were able to avoid the restrictions of ChatGPT, and it's the same as other hacker groups. They explain the same approach. So I completely understand. And I think it's the best for people that are, for me, much more in the offensive, but you show also some script from Terraform that you were able to generate. It's very refreshing for all of us to get such crazy insights. Thank you again, Mukesh, for that.
Thank you.
And I think for the next those next sessions, people will, I hope, copy and paste and play with the same command at the same time. So give us some kind of real-time feedback, important for us. There are a few things that were not mentioned, or maybe not enough mentioned, but don't forget the ChatGPT was stopped in 1431 in terms of dataset. That means that the versions of the software are limited to 2021. So sometimes the code that you are using, if you copy and paste in the last version of the compiler or whatever, it will not directly work. You will have to fix it. And the developers used to talk about that.
Yeah. I think maybe they can, as per the new updates. So maybe they are providing some extra latest update part in the paid version. So that we can use to benefit from the paid version of GPT with the latest code. So that will also help us to redefine our coding style and source code analysis in both approach, offensive and defensive. So yeah, in future we will take some more examples and implement new opportunities with the ChatGPT integration.
Yeah, and ChatGPT there is a kind of ecosystem. I think I shared in the WhatsApp group. There is something called the playground. There is the API also. There is a paid version that is also coming, and so it will move very fast. And some of the restriction maybe will be removed by regarding to the approach you have to work with ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay, thank you again, Mukesh. Let's move on to the next part of our agenda. We have around 90 minutes remaining. We have the idea of this slide is to think ourselves, what can we do? What do we need now? We have shared lots of things. We have shared examples of what Mukesh was able to do with ChatGPT. We have asked to ChatGPT what it was able to do. We have a few ideas of what we want from it. I think we need to spend a little time to prepare in our group. We made this community, this WhatsApp community, LinkedIn community, to try to make some good insight all together to work on concrete cases when we think ChatGPT can do. And that's exactly what Mukesh did. And I think that every of us can have the same approach to say, okay, I have this offensive task or defensive task I want to work on. I try to explain it to ChatGPT. I don't really get what I expect. And if we share this kind of search together, all together, we can be much more helpful to solve it. So I would like each of us to really not only try to learn and to understand, because it's super good to be in this ChatGPT evolution world, but also to find some concrete cases that we can all of us work on and share again the experience, because we will be stuck at some point. If, for example, if you see Mukesh did crazy things by himself and he didn't use Dan, and Dan can remove a few limits and maybe can get a little more from the content that is inside ChatGPT that is for the moment blocked. So we have 3 categories of tasks, and again, I hope that everyone could, for the next session, maybe in 1 week, to have some of the tasks they really want to work on, policies, GRC, just a task you want to automate, of course, related to cybersecurity, defensive, and so on. So how can we conduct this research? First, bring BYOP. If you remember, bring YOD, bring your own problems. Try to really be very relevant, very precise on the problem. Second is read our Excel sheet. We made a page that is totally editable by everyone. a Google Excel sheet. We have tried to make some categories with prompt, with tutorial, with all the resources that are helpful for us. And the problems is one of the first tabs that we can read. So we can read the problems of different people or what they expect to do. Of course, but test it in chatbot. Huh? Everyone has to play with chatbot until he understands the restriction and find a way to generate the content and share the result of what you did. Good result or the missing one, what you are not able to do by yourself. That is something that is insightful for us. And that's what we can expect from working all together in this ChatGPT community. In the future, if we have enough people interested by the same thing, they can start to work together. That's something that it depends on your motivation, it depends on your time available, but that's something we can definitely work on. So the more you explain what you need, the more we can help the group to try to put people to make some pairing together. I think it's the good moment also to discuss about the tool for collaboration. I mentioned the red book for ChatGPT in cybersecurity. Read it, edit it, do whatever you want. I put a bit link, just it was to shortenize the link. You have the full link here. We have WhatsApp to talk together, to find other people, to share with them some of the problem. We have the file, and you can put, so every time you have something good that we don't know, that could be helpful for the community, please edit this file, put the additional information. I mentioned the team because I think even if we in the future wants to work by team, we need to know who is doing what among us. So I would appreciate, we did that 2 days ago with the association, if each of us, now we are 10 people in this room, can introduce himself in a few words and explain what he's looking for. So background and what are you looking for ChatGPT, and it can be a good way to start to work together. So let's start maybe now. Who can be interested to play the role, introduce? Mukesh, you already introduced. Joel, maybe you can say a word about yourself. I don't know if Joel is still connected. Some people, sometimes they get something at the same time to do. Who is connected now and can just introduce? Joel? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Please. Yeah. Perfectly.
Yeah. So, I'm currently a cyber threat intelligence analyst. I work for a SOC, and just kind of tuning in here, figuring out how, because I've been doing some research and found that ChatGPT could be used. Well, I guess the rumor is could be used to write malware, and just kind of tuning in here and seeing what exactly ChatGPT is.
Okay, great, Joel. So, and you based in US?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So nice to welcome you on board. And I think you are not the only SOC guy we have in the team that is interested to understand the benefit, possible benefits. So there are something to do regarding probably the logs, analysis, the false positive. There are lots of fields of research that we can have. So definitely, I think it could be helpful for you. Nuning, are you here? Nuning Barrett, we talked a few yesterday together a bit.
Hi.
Hey, Nuning, welcome.
Hi. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I'm currently studying network and IT security. So I was thinking like, or I'm hoping that ChatGPT can help me in learning the cybersecurity in more effective ways, and yeah, and be more advanced.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nuning. You are based in Norway, huh? I think.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's actually 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Oh, sorry. As I mentioned, we have some people that are in the time zone, like your time zone. So we will make some group of people that are maybe on the time zone directly and can handle a better moment to discuss. So yeah, I like when people, new people, will bring some new ideas for using ChatGPT. For your information, there are something called like I think it's a document, is like the top 50 prompts, and one of the prompts is, ChatGPT, can you act as if you were my cybersecurity instructor? Give me some exercises, etc. So you can ask
Oh,
ChatGPT.
really?
Yeah. ChatGPT, some people ask him to become lawyer, but there
Okay.
are some prompts for that. If you don't have the prompt, maybe after 1 or 2 questions, you say, oh, I don't really want to interact with it. But yeah, that's why education also can be changed with this tool. I think,
Yeah.
I think I can share the document, or maybe it's somewhere we have the top best prompts that are to ask to ChatGPT to act as if we are paying a professional for us. Okay.
Yeah. Actually the teacher was commenting because I know I'm studying online and I also work at the same time. So he was commenting that he found some student giving answer from the ChatGPT, which is quite. But they have like a detection system.
Yeah.
So they can detect if it's because if some student just copy paste, of course, it's quite obvious.
Yeah, I think
But
one aspect for us would be to, when we explain a natural language request, how to put some kind of random words or something that to make more randomization in the content, in the output that we can get, to avoid such a system. But I don't encourage at all the people to cheat with this. I don't encourage. But I think we can get also answers for that. And I heard that the systems that were able to analyze the structure of the answers were not that good. It was like 60% of success to ban the users of ChatGPT. I don't know what your teacher said.
Yeah. So actually, the school is quite advanced. It's an IT school, so they have, even when we do the exam, they have an AI to check if we are copying from somewhere else, and then they will detect it. Which is like quite challenging. Which I think it's cool though, but it's not easy.
It's AI versus AI.
But exactly. But I think the ChatGPT is quite promising. Like, I mean, at least we can have some question and then we can elaborate ourselves. Like, we cannot just rely on it. We have to test the answer, right?
Yeah. And in the future, we will have to also add additional tools. I mentioned Codex. There are many other AI that are complementary. Codex, you can generate Python scripts easily. So you can ask questions to ChatGPT if it's good at, and then for the answers, you say, okay, now I want to generate a code with another AI. So one of my friends is making a book, and the book contains images that is based on one IA images generator, and then a second AI ChatGPT for the text. And then after the human of his team, the people are correcting, fixing the bugs. And I think in a very limited time, you will be able to create a full book and sell it on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. I was reading, there was some PhD student actually, or I was reading, there was one that is actually referring to, have a reference from ChatGPT, which is like, I don't think it's not okay. Like, you can find the source first from the ChatGPT, but I think you have to still cross-check, like, to find the real resources.
Definitely.
Yeah. But it's really promising, I think. For business too, I guess it's going to make a quite change. It's a good challenge and opportunity. There's challenge and opportunity, of course.
Definitely. Thank you, Nuning, for the testimonial.
Thank you.
Maybe we can have Mohammed. Mohammed, are you here?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Please introduce yourself.
It's me. You can call me Rask. It's my nickname. I'm an information security engineer working for a fintech company. Actually, I'm too interested in ChatGPT for dynamic playbooks, which can help us to increase our SOC analysts' playbooks, which you can help them to identify these threats using an artificial biz model, which can maybe too informative if they have an incident. Might be dynamic, depending on the data the AI had been analyzed, gives them a playbook they can do, makes them define that threat in a more accurate way to avoid something like neglecting data or something they don't know about it. But that's what we call. In addition, I am too interested in a company that's working in deep learning in cybersecurity also, which called Deep Innocent. Yeah, it's an Israel company. They are developing their DNN, which is deep neural network for detecting malwares, depending on the deep neural network they build. How can ChatGPT or other models can help some models like Deep Innocent to let's say give them accuracy or more accurate about morphological malwares that may be developed in the future. It's AI versus AI, as you said before.
It's a crazy new field that will come to us. For the people that are not really aware with that, but the bug bounty money invested is already super huge, and all the GAFAM are on it, and they will pay a lot of money for the people that will be automatically able to find vulnerabilities. So if we are able to have a better chance to find vulnerabilities thanks to AI like this one, the companies that will be performant for that, they will be acquired million or billion of USD for sure. So, yeah.
I guess in the future, bug bounty programs are gonna be turned down because of AI. Now we have modern AI solutions that can define a threat or catches them to our models, C models, for an example. If you look to Splunk, for an example, there's too many collaborative machine models are present to analyze logs. Even bug bounty, depending on you found the vulnerability in our own application or security appliances solution or security control on your network. But in the future, with developing of AI, if there's a connection between all those AI devices in the world based on Web3 or something like that, maybe the security appliances develop itself to can create, for an example, signature or behavior models to detect vulnerabilities or malwares, maybe more sophisticated than we say nowadays, and that would be something cool for a defensive department which are working in, but that requires a lot of working on that department with cyber researchers and AI researchers too. It's not easy at all to implement a security model into a machine learning model or deep learning model. It's too sophisticated. I tried it myself when I was studying. It's really too sophisticated, really too sophisticated to do that. So I believe if we move forward to this particular part in the future, that will be a good solutions for companies. So like some companies like Breva or Big IB F5 should invest more money in that field using the AI models or DNN models to define threats they don't know yet. As you know, there's a attack signature list are based in every WAF systems we have. The signature lists are manually or updated. If we have an AI model that can update, are connected with other web solutions that can update signatures automatically depend on the behavior or on all network or overall the world, that would be something crazy.
I mean, it's what you say. It's one of the future in our domain. I know some of the very big company in France with more than 100,000 employees all over the world. This company, the network manager, like top manager, explained me, we have WAF. We don't know how to. We will pay a lot if someone will help us to put the new rules when a new threat is coming, because we don't know how to. We can improve our way to defend ourselves. And when it's too late, okay, we can find some solution. I remember for Log4j, they were looking for even information on internet, especially on LinkedIn. They were doing some copy and paste of the rules they were looking for such a WAF, because they say no companies is able to offer some rules, like the generation of new rules to protect, that is for so many multiple environments. There are so many software in the world, and many of them are not maintained anymore. So how can we protect when something is happening?
That's absolutely true. Yeah, those vulnerability scanners that we have today, like wireless, Nessus, or even any vulnerability scanner, they are known signature for everyone.
Yeah.
We know that that scanner is wireless. We know how this scanner performs attack, and we put the signature in our next generation firewalls on our network, so we know the attack signature. That's not the problem. The problem is a real hacker, real pen tester, or Red Hat team players, that they have them customized pen testing tool, them customized this scripts that we can't detect. That's why AI will bring a lot of defense techniques in our blue teaming models in the future, I guess. I hope that will happen someday.
Oh, it will happen, definitely. No, it will happen. Everything is data, so data must be protected. If you don't have protection of the data, the business is gone. So we need AI for that. There is no other way to work. Thank you, Mohamed, for introduction, and welcome also to you.
Okay. Now what?
We have Hitesh also that joined us. Hitesh, are you here? I don't know if you are here, and you can unmute the sound and we can listen to you.
Hey, hi, Julian. How are you?
Hi. Good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also good. Thanks for that.
So can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm one of the cybersecurity consultant who is working on different portfolios, like endpoint security, then data protection, then web securities, and some part of app also I'm handling.
How much experience do you have in that field?
So I have a total 10 years of experience.
Good. And what?
Yeah.
How can?
Majorly, I'm handling pre-sales and support part also. Solution consultant process.
Yeah. And you based in India, probably, maybe?
Yeah. I'm based from India.
Okay. Good. Many Indian people are super motivated and excellent to apply cybersecurity rules.
Thanks, Julian, for giving this opportunity to represent myself also. And it's really actual. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend entire this webinar.
And I recorded the session when Mukesh started to demonstrate, because it was excellent. So I will share the beginning of this session that was different from the one we had 2 days ago. It's also possible to get access to the previous one.
That's the value addition you are giving us. So that's.
Thank you. Thank you, Hitesh. And thank you, everyone. I have just a couple of words to say more, and then after we are done. So I mentioned already the tools that we have already, this kind of little database. We will use better tools like Slack, like Miro, or whatever, depending of if the people are motivated, if they are really regularly coming and discussing and helping, then after we will make some better tool implement. For the question and answers, don't hesitate. We can do it now, we can do it later. but because we are a little late regarding to the time. Coming next, I have so many people pushing to come to be part of it that we will probably organize at least one weekly talk, maybe one for each continent. I don't know exactly. We'll see. It depends on the time zone. As I mentioned, I'm in South Korea. I cannot be work at 24 hours per day. And the idea would be, if possible, every week, one discussion or one presentation of what were the best offensive and defensive prompts that the people were able to write. For me, a good prompt would be maybe 50 lines, 60 lines. It's not just one question of one line. Even if Mukesh showed us that we can get crazy results with one line, but the more precise we are, the more quality content we will generate with ChatGPT. So let's see how our best experts, we have a few experts in the group that send me some messages. They can show us how they do that. Second is having always speakers for the ChatGPT demo, like Mukesh did, like Rajiv did, and other people do, and maybe specifically for specific jobs, people for SOC analysts, people that are good for information security, penetration tester, and so on, etc. And Q&A session, and I will share with you some updates about the project. That's for the next time. Do you have any question? Anything you want to ask, to say? It's a right good moment before we close this session. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I was super excited and to see you and to meet real people, even if we are far away from each other. If you want to be more involved in this project, join our administration team. Mukesh, myself, a few other people. We are trying to make this community more active on all the continents and also try to share those best practices. That's something we have already did in the past. I used to, since more than 3 years, I always shared my best feedback and documents and in cybersecurity on LinkedIn. I hope I will spend more time now on ChatGPT and a little less on LinkedIn. Maybe you saw I shared a paper, the top 10 OWASP versus ChatGPT. I'm ready if some people want to challenge me to say, I know how to do it better. I want to. So please join me and see how we can work. If you have time enough, of course. If you don't have time at all, it's difficult. But if you have a little time, come and let's work for the help of the group and yeah, make some real changes together. Have a nice Sunday. Happy Solal for the ones that are doing the new Lunar party. And keep in touch next week very soon. Bye-bye.